Hello, Caroline. How are you?
I'm very well, and I'm very happy to be here with you, Josune. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. I am very happy today to be here with Caroline Cares. She is from India, but she is a worldwide woman, and she loves to tell that she is a sustainability ecosystem gardener, which is something I really love it because I think gardening is one of the most important things we need to develop for the future. And I wanted to say always, Caroline, your family name cares. It's about caring. Caroline cares. I love it so
You know,
much.
I have to interject. First off, we have been wanting to do this for quite some time. We have known one another for a few years now, Josun, and
Yes.
I am very happy and very grateful that we have energetically attracted one another from a frequency of um, contribution, creation, and co-creation. Um, you have been doing some significant work in the space of sustainability, and I always marvel at your your courage and the way you express yourself. And I'm very honored that you would consider me to be part of this series with you. I am looking forward to unpack all of the things that we believe are important for our civilization and humanity, but also the planet to move forward. So I just wanted to say that and to acknowledge you and appreciate you as much as I hold you in very high regard. So it is my pleasure to be here. And to your point, the name Cares is a name that I gave myself.
Oh, I
My
love it.
family name is Fernandez because we belong to a region in India which had the Portuguese. Therefore, it is highly anglicized. But I read this book by John Hope Bryant. For all of you watching in, John Hope Bryant is and was quite active during President Obama's term in the United States of America. And his work is a lot like the work that Josun and I do, but on a bigger scale. He works with, people who are marginalized, especially African American populations in the States who have forgotten their own gifts and forgotten their divinity. And so he does this through financial literacy. He does this through empowering them with the right information and tools. And I read one of his books back in 2015. The book is called How the Poor Can Save. I'm sorry, that's my alarm going off. How the Poor Can Save Capitalism. And I was very moved internally. My inner being was very moved when I read that book because that was the inflection, the turning point for me when I started my work with women back in India. And it was the perfect book for me. And he gave himself the name Hope, John Hope Bryant. And I realized that words have energy, they have frequency, and they are a powerful invitation and a reminder to call forth certain thought processes and certain behaviors within us, which are North Star behaviors, which we aspire to be better as better versions of ourselves. Therefore, I gave myself the middle name Cares. So I just wanted to add that to your introduction. Thank you.
You know something, Caroline? I love I love very much an English sentence that says, "What goes around comes around." And it amazed me to know that you were putting your own name on yourself and renaming yourself, because I also did. This is, I did when I was 16 years old. I was taking this name, Josune. I was born Maria Jesus. I was baptized Maria Jesus. But Maria Jesus, in Basque language, in the language of Basque country in North Spain, you can put it together like it's like a feminine form of Jesus, and it's called Josune, but it comes into one word. And as I don't know if I have told you, you know that I work very much with words, so I'm not surprised you are aware of the power of words. And I say we cannot we cannot get away from machismos through feminism, because feminism is just like the back side for machismo, or it's a response. So if we are ahead from both, we need to be feminist. So together in one, like acknowledging we are all coming from masculine and feminine mixed, no matter if you are a woman or man. There's no way you were done without the two parts. So my community is defined as a Geminist community, and my name is already a Geminist name because
How
it's
beautiful.
masculine and feminine at the same time.
How beautiful. Thank you for sharing. That's such a powerful integration into, the pieces that I know that we want to talk about through this series. I do believe we're at a very powerful time in our civilization. There are a lot of old systems dismantling, and it's these kind of levels of awareness, tools, technologies. They may not really be, all of them may not be spiritual. They might be beyond the three-dimensional. But for us to be aware of these things and to recognize it and to bring it forth through these kind of conversations, through the projects that we are going to be talking about, is really how we can invite more people to also join in, wake up, think about it, but not so much intellectualize. We did talk about this on our last live, but to really see how this can be integrated in a holistic manner. So I'm very excited for this.
You know, I also share that feeling. I also feel that we are experiencing a global awakeness for the humanity. But what I think is that in according to the old ideas, we were at first like trying to get others awake, instead of that realizing that we are all in different speed level taking part in the process. And I think what we need to do is like what we are doing, as you say, make it accessible, make it understandable, make it attractive, sexy, like everyone wants to join, not because they want to aware, but because they love it, because they find it like, wow, it's new, it's nice, it's clean, it's green. I don't know. So something like it's kind of, I love sexy. I love to say sexy because it needs to be attractive. It's not
Yeah.
like I don't want it to be a spiritual or intellectual. I prefer it to be sexy.
I love that. I love that because it reminds me that no matter how much we know, we are still living in this body.
Let's make it sexy.
I love it. I love that you bring in the sexiness, and I'm sure there are going to be viewers watching and wondering why, the the theme and the sub-themes around what we're talking about needs a sexiness. I have to agree wholeheartedly, because I think on a collective level, there is so much information out there right now, and it's so layered that it's very hard to hold people's attention. One. Two, there are systems that have been designed to distract the collective. Three, there are mass events, events that we're all living right now, whether they are right from economic events to health related events or illness related events, that are holding people's minds hostage. And therefore, how do we bring people back to themselves and to something beyond these very toxic, fatalistic narratives that are running right now everywhere? So I say all of that to let you know that I believe that the experience of it being sexy, from a perspective of awe, inspiration, it also being like a wild card, because it kind of cannot be predictable, and it has to draw people in, is something that I'm definitely in agreement with.
I think we need to, what I was, today I was talking with a friend, I said, we need to stop like only just conferences and conferences and more books and more books. Instead of,
Yeah.
let's bring it into use. Let's use it.
Mhm.
And let's make a difference by using it. Okay? And this is more fun. It's more fun to use it than to tell it.
Absolutely.
That's why I want you definitely to share about facts and about experiences. And then the facts, they talked alone. They speak for themselves. We don't need to tell a lot because they tell from themselves, no? And then
Yeah.
I want you to tell us how you were deciding to enter this world, and in which area you were deciding to step in to start being active.
Yeah. Yeah, I was on another podcast yesterday, and this came up primarily because, uh, it's very easy to sensationalize these things, and make it sound sexy in the wrong way. And I want to be cautious about that, because I actually, even though I had known about sustainability and it's been around for a long time, I had no plans of getting into this because my background and my field is education and health. And that's kind of, the starting point of our project that we had launched for our youth and our young women in our communities in Nigeria at the grassroots level.
Mhm.
And uh, I didn't, it's like I said a moment ago, I didn't fully know, what we were going to achieve. I knew we wanted to test a few things out using blockchain technologies. And we called, and we still call the platform and the project the chrysalis. So the chrysalis is the energy of the caterpillar going into this cocoon, going through all of these wonderful, difficult changes and coming out as a butterfly.
Mhm.
And we use this energetic word because we realize that uh, people need this space. People need the environment and the right conditions in order to transform. Otherwise, it's an uphill task, giving them the tools, giving them the guidance, mentorship, and support. So 2020, late 2021, we launched this with a small, group of about 150 of our youth over there. And we were providing them with information, tools of how, because Africa is the third largest region that uses blockchain technologies on a day-to-day basis. Uh, and for people like you and me I might be generalizing, but we take a lot of things for granted that in Africa are very difficult, are challenging. And while working with them at the local level, I started to understand how much of ambition, how much of commitment, even though they had very less resources, how they were willing to stick with a project and work with it and finish it and, look for the right people, look for the right resources. And that really moved me. I realized that, wow, I want to help these kind of people because they already are intrinsically motivated to do something to move from point A to point B. And that's when sustainability found me. So to your question, I know it's a long winding answer to a short question, but that's kind of how I got into it.
Very interesting. Nigeria calling India.
Indeed.
And what areas of scope are you currently pursuing, or are you intending to pursue?
Yeah, yeah. So while we started off with, education being the underpinnings of empowerment, youth empowerment, development for women, it's kind of evolved. I won't say expanded. We've gone deeper. All that to say that, last year we were very quiet on the stage. We decided to move away from the stage and do our homework in 2023 and use the homework of talking to community leaders, youth leaders, women community and group leaders to really understand what it is and how we could facilitate some of the existing efforts that they were already developing, but accelerate it, enhance it, add features that they may not be looking at or thinking about. And, that's, you already know this, but for the sake of this series, the thing that we are working on right now is moving 100 young African women into STEAM, not STEM, but STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, arts, the arts, and mathematics. Statistics show that universally, that means globally, we have only 20 to 28% women in STEM, which is a dismal number. Even in areas like STEM, engineering, innovation, we have to have a healthy, diverse ratio of men and women because, like it or not, there are certain ways that we think, and there are certain decisions that come from, it may not be gender, but it is feminine and masculine energies that are prevalent and that move certain, choices in the right direction. And so all of that to say, it's been about 6 to 8 months of just planning to launch. And I believe that you probably know this about me by now, but preparation is something that is very dear to me, primarily because I want us to succeed. I want to see more women getting into engineering. I want them to be in technology. And for that, we need the right partners. We need the right community partners. We need the right organizational partners. We need, at some point, corporations joining us, because some of the outcomes that we want to not predict, but facilitate is to have these women hold their heads up high and come away from this year-long program feeling, certain, feeling clear about certain tools and technologies that can help them solve issues around waste management, water, education for their children, nutrition, and so many others around SDGs. But I don't want to limit it to the SDGs because there is a lot more, and I'm not a very big fan of just sticking to the SDGs. I also want to let you know that before we got on this recording, our program, one of our program partners who's taking care of our regional signups, because our signups right now, our countries that we are covering are Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, Mozambique, and most probably Uganda. And we right now, with our, with our effort in talking about the program, we have 300 women from Mozambique who have sent in their interest to be a part of the program. 300 women. I know that we will not be able to take all of them for this program, but it is very reassuring for me, because our regional partner in Mozambique has told us that Mozambique, which is a lot like Portugal, which is part of my sister country, there is a lot of young women as young as 14, 15 who have turned to commercial sex work. They're prostitutes. And they're doing this as a choice because they can't see beyond this. And our program, our regional point of contact, wants to open their minds up to other choices, other ways of them being able to earn a living. And so when I heard about 300 women, I'm very excited.
Absolutely, absolutely, that's amazing. The age of these women, please.
Yeah. So the program is targeted to invite women who are high school graduates up to college. But, when we had our first episode, bringing in one of the scientists who will be covering a year-long program around innovation and technology, I realized that I don't think we should limit it. You might have heard, I think it is the Miss World pageant or the Miss Universe right now.
Cases of use, would you like maybe to share?
Use cases, yes. So, within the current one, we have yet to launch. But based on our past work and some of the partners that we have, I want to share, and this is for all of our viewers watching in as well. You will want to look up a young woman from Kenya called Elizabeth Juma. She is from Kenya, and she runs an organization successfully called WIMA. I don't know if this allows banners, but WIMA, WEMA, excuse me, if you look it up, WIMA Bukembe is an organization that was started by her mother. And she has taken over this legacy and really institutionalized it, organized it in a way where one of, her main mentors is also one of our mentors for our program. He's an Indian in his 70s from Chicago, and he is an active Lions Club member. So he has, helped her and facilitated. And what she does is she's got 2 schools for, young Kenya students, both boys and girls, 350 students who are able to go to school as a result of their efforts to start the school. And apart from, mainstream education, some of the other things that they are involved in, sensitizing these students on is around sustainability, showing them how they can be responsible for, planting trees, understanding how they can work with their communities, water, hygiene, things like that. And that's why I say we take all these things for granted, but it's such a beautiful process to be witnessing something so powerful with her and her community. And another use case, if I have to call out, would be GGSDN. This is another dear friend of mine. Her name is Ibiso, and she is another young woman from Nigeria. She runs this organization on the ground, doing work for restoration of marine life, biodiversity, preservation. They have a lot of challenge along the ocean line as a result of the pollution from factories. And therefore, that is a cause of concern, not just for the quality of the water, but also for the inhabitants, people who have their homes along the banks. And these are some of the main areas that she works with. And both of these young women are going to also be a part of the STEAM program, because while they're already doing a lot, we want to provide them enhanced ways of looking at or revisiting their solutions so that they can work smarter, more efficiently, and probably with technology as well.
Mm-hmm. And what is the, I mean, where are the funds coming from to sustain all this project?
Yeah, that's a good question. So for us, we are going to be looking at a couple of systemic ways with the mentors that, one of the mentors, like I had mentioned, who is part of Lions Club and also has connections with Rotary. So that's a system for us internally that we need to build, because we are still young in this whole, garden of sustainability. But with respect to WIMA, Liz has started her own local branch of the Lions Club. So as a result of that, they're tapped into, global access to funds that can be brought in to help them, build and develop and sustain. Coming to GGSTN, they don't, as such, right now have a systemic way, and we are hoping through one of the programs where we will be one of our facilitators, who is a professor with Ghana University School of Economics. His program is being designed to help women like Ibiso and others, and I will also be participating, to help structure the business and help raise the right climate funds. Like, what are the sources? How do you do that? So I would say it's part of the pipeline that we are building.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting, very interesting. I see we can expand it a lot also.
Yeah.
Once the seed has really got consolidated, it could be very expandable, and it is very, very necessary. So, Caroline, I think our time is now gone. We were taking a bit longer than half an hour, but it's nice. And I'm very glad we are exchanging about these issues, because, as you say, in the world outside Africa, many things are taken for granted that are not at all to be taken for granted. And the circumstances and the difficulties that people are facing day by day, they are very, very different, and than the regular ones we are facing in the rest of the world. And I think it's important that we are delivering this information to many people, because I think we're lacking of realism in that
Yes.
sense. Yes. So
Yes.
thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you for bringing that up, and thank you for the opportunity to share in this space. I am also eager to learn more about your projects in our upcoming series, and to see how we might potentially work together to, help one another's work as well.
Yeah, that's the I think the solution is a solution.
Wow, I love it. I love that. Thank you for that. I felt it. Solution. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Solution. So let's wait. Let's go for that solution, and let's hope for us to find how to put the threads together.
Yeah.
But it will take some time, because, as I told you, it is alchemy, and it's not
Yeah.
as easy as mechanics. It takes a bit longer, but
Yeah.
I think nature wants us to do it and will help us.
let nature take its course, and alchemy is the most grounded, the most sustainable way when it takes its own time to bear fruit. But here is where we are planting these important intentional seeds uh, from a perspective of how genuine we feel about this.
From gardener to gardener, we need to talk about seeds.
Yes, 100%. Love you lots. Mwah.
Caroline, I have a question for you before we close this. Do you speak
Yes.
Portuguese?
Oh, mon Dieu. No, I speak French a little bit, but I think I need to learn Portuguese. The answer right now is no.
Okay, because I was thinking it would be so nice if we could communicate also in Portuguese for the people from Mozambique, Guinea-Bissau, Angola, and so many countries in Africa speaking Portuguese.
Yeah.
So more than we think. So
Yes.
thank you very much. Really, it was a pleasure again to meet you. Sorry for the interruptions we were having. And then let's wait for this interview to be edited and to be posted in our social networks, and hopefully many people will listen
Many
and
thanks.